Well, hello, Stampers, and happy hump day. It is Wednesday, noontime, and my name is Colleen Magness, and today you are Creating with Colleen. I come to you live every Wednesday, noon Eastern time. Hopefully you can take a break, have lunch with me. You take that break, and I will create. One of the things I often say is, welcome to Creating. Gosh, I say it so often. Welcome to Creating with Colleen. I will teach you what to do. I may teach you what not to do, but I promise to teach you something. And today, that's probably going to be more true than not, because normally I have everything scored and it's all taken care of in front of you because I really like to try to have a perfect video. But let's face it, there is nothing on this side of heaven that's perfect. So I thought, let me go ahead and show you how I'm actually going to cut a lot of these, my cardstock and everything, because when I come to you and it's already cut and it's already scored and I say, gee, do this, this, you don't really see it. So wish me luck. I'm going out on a limb. I am going to cut, slice, dice, probably show you what not to do, but as I said, I'll teach you something. So I've got my friends popping on. I have Lynn and Stephanie and Sandy and Gwen. You gals are so faithful, and I do appreciate you being here every Wednesday. So today I'm going to show you how to make a bay window card. This was a card that one of my dear, she's really not a team member, but she's Stampin' family. Marilyn and Diamond came to us from Texas, and so she didn't have a group here, and she was looking for a group to get connected with, and she fit nicely with ours. So Marilyn showed me how to make a bay window card, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Hello, Miss K. So what I'm using today, it was kind of awkward trying to get going because most of our retired merchandise, the stamp sets are sold out, a lot of them, and my new merchandise doesn't come until the end of the week. I was so bummed. I would hope it would be here today, but when I do get it, next week's I'm going to do an unboxing. You have probably seen those before, but I'm going to pull out what I bought for my pre-order. I'll show you the in colors, and we'll have a lot of fun with that. But today, let me show you what a bay window card is. It's pretty much exactly that. It looks like a bay window. So this was one of the cards that Marilyn did, and it's, you know, standard card, fits in an envelope, but when you open it up, this little piece slides under here, and now you have what looks like a bay window. So that's what it looks there, and that's what it looks on the inside. So this part here is your bay window. Now I'm going to do mine a little bit differently. I'm not going to put something on the side or to slide over, but this was the original she made, and I loved it. This is a suite out of the mini catalog that is good through June 30th. Then the other night at our team meeting, I asked her to demo it for the team, and me too, of course. And so she had this one here. And this, again, was gorgeous. This time she put a piece of ribbon down the side, opens as such, and then again, she tucked this under there to make her bay window. So you all know I have been loving the New Horizons Designer Series paper, and I wanted to show you something that you can purchase. So if you haven't got like 6 packs of this yet, go and get at least one, because it's beautiful paper. Last week, I showed you how to do a rectangle postage stamp card using this designer paper. So here was one that I created for you. Absolutely love it. The paper is the star of the show. And then I wanted to make another one. So I love Blackberry Bliss and Fresh Freesia together. 2 amazing colors. Fresh Freesia is an in color that's going to stay with us for another year and hopefully sneak in our color base sometime. And Blackberry Bliss is just gorgeous. And I do want to say right now, if I accidentally call this Blackberry Smoke, you're going to have to forgive me because Blackberry Smoke is a band that I love, and it just comes out of my mouth so easily. So just know the color is Blackberry Bliss and not Blackberry Smoke. But if you get a chance, listen to them. I think you'd like them. So I've got Patty popping on. Hey, Patty, my computer's not scrolling as nice as I would like it to, so it's kind of hard to see. I try to keep the screen in here also so that I can see what I'm doing. But y'all know I've had some computer issues, and thankfully she is running faster. So let me get you in here. Good Lord. Every time I hit it, it just goes too far. Okay, so what I am using, as I said, I'm using the New Horizons Designer Series paper on page 43. And this entire suite, I was so sad to find out, did not carry over into the new catalog. So keep in mind, even though this catalog goes till June 30th, as we get closer to that date, if certain things sell out, they will not restock them because they just can't get them in time for that June 30th date. But I was bummed. New Horizons did not carry over, but it is here today, and I expect it'll be here for the next couple weeks. So with the paper, y'all have seen me show it before, so I won't show much, but basically it's these gorgeous designs, beautiful watermarks on the back, but these sceneries are great. Pretty much all I've been doing is putting a flock of geese going across the top. I did one where I put a lighthouse, and you have all these beautiful things. I put mountains here because this just reminded me of Alaska with the northern lights and the mountainside. So great, great designer paper. You have 12 designs. You get 4 sheets of each. So the card I'm going to do, I'm actually, as I said, I'm going out on a limb today. I am going to show it very basic first because I think that's the best way to learn it. So this is a bay window card. Again, very, very basic. And I'm just going to show you with the panels. Then the second one, I'm sorry, gals. Let's see, Peggy Barth is here from Minnesota. Welcome, Peggy. I'm still trying to get my screen right. So y'all, you know what? I do want to watch my comments. So if you see me going off my screen or you're like, hey, you're not in the middle, just give a shout out. I'll keep an eye on the comments. This, of course, using the New Horizons paper, carries over, and I'm going to try a couple different things. So again, standard card, but I just put it underneath the panel here. So I'm going to show you this with basic measurements so that you can create one yourself. And I love using designer paper in my cards because let's face it, we have the best designer paper there is. So what I'm going to do here, I typed this up. If y'all knew my typing skills, you probably wouldn't believe I even ventured out that far. But I did want you, let me put it in here, so if you want to do a screenshot. For the basic bay window card, and I'm going to score this in front of you, you have this right here. You have, take a picture there. Y'all want to do a screenshot? That's your basics. Okay. So here you have the Blackberry Bliss, 11 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to score this, and I'm even going to score it in front of you. How is that? So if you hadn't seen that before, you're going to score it at 3/8, 1 7/8, 3 5/8, 5 1/8, 5 1/2. Then for the inside, I have just a piece of 3 1/4 inch by 4 1/8 inch basic white. And then I wanted to cut this in front of you so you could see how I got the image, because I need this piece here to be 4 1/8 by 6 inches. So 6 inches across is no problem because this is a 6-inch piece of designer series paper. But I'm going to show you how I cut it to make it the 4 1/8. Let me see. So Steph said it's hard to do a screenshot. Steph, I will definitely post a picture. I've been doing that. I will post a picture right after I do the video of the measurements. So you'll have them in the video and you will have them to see. So Stephanie, she also says she loves the paper. She's been stamping some tops of the pine trees in front to make it look panoramic. Absolutely. Sky's the limit with this stuff. So let me show you how I score. Now I have my cutting tool. So I could come in here. Make sure you know your scoring blade from your cutting blade. Cutting blade is the dark, scoring blade is the light. So I could come in here and move this over and do all different things. And if I need to score something like a 16th, that's good because my marks are up to 16ths. But when I do a scoring, especially like a lot of different lines, I like using my Simply Scored scoring tool. So this is it. It has markings. This only goes down to 1/8 of an inch in your markings. but you have these great little tabs you could put in here. So if you're making a lot, you're thinking Christmas or whatever, you're making a lot of scoring, you could put your little markers in here and then you don't even have to think. So what you'll do is put this piece up here. Down here, I don't know if you can see it, probably not. Down here you have your little tool. So everything's there together. I'm gonna put up here, and my first score, now let me tell you this too. When I score cardstock, it is thicker and heavier. So I use the smaller part of my stylus. When I use designer paper, or sometimes a basic white or vanilla, I like to use my larger one because, especially with the designer paper, that paper is thinner. And if you go with the smaller one and you have a little too much pressure, you could tear it. So that's why I do the both. But on my solid cardstock, because it's such a great weight, I use the thinner end. So here I'm going to score at 3/8. And again, this is the 1/8. So I just count 1, 2, 3. We're all in 8s. So I got 3/8, 1 7/8, 3 5/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just an 1/8 over the half. 5 1/8. 5 1/2. And God willing, I did that correct. So 3/8, 1 7/8, 3 5/8, 5 1/8, and 5 1/2. So that's how that gets scored. Quick and easy. So on here, we're going to score back and forth different ways, so technically it doesn't matter. But normally, when you score, you have what you call a mountainside, where it kind of pops up. That's where you pushed in. And then you have a valley side, where it goes in. A lot of times what I will do, since that kind of broke the fibers, I would score on the mountainside. Fold on the mountainside here. So basically, I'm just going to take this, and I will fold at the 5 1/2 inch one. There we go. Crease that really good. Okay. And so my card is folded in half and all these little score lines are on the front. So from here, I'm going to fold this back, score that down. And then these, to make the big bay window, that's going to get scored out. That's going to get scored out. So you're making that window. And then this bottom piece will get scored, kind of scored up. Oh, I should have scored that even. Okay. Just like that. So this piece will end up sliding underneath, but that is how you do your bay window. Hey, Miss Joyce, I'm glad you popped on. Now for this one here, wasn't sure. I think it looks fine here, but I wasn't sure what else I could do. This gets taped down. So again, we're on a limb today. We're just going to see what happens, and then we're going to experiment. So this is a fresh freesia ribbon, and I'm just going to put it on the side here. I might tie a little tail on it. I might not. We'll see how that goes. So just to hold that, I'm going to take some of my Stampin' Seal and put it on the edges here. I can just take a piece, just kind of measure it, because you're just going to wrap it in. So I will put this here on this side. I'm going to pull it across the front. This is where that one was scored at 3/8. And just tuck it in the bottom here. Now, one of the things I have found is that when you're going to, again, this part here, oh, Lord, don't have it twisted. Always check your front. Let's try that again. When you go ahead and you're going to put adhesive here, you're really better off to use your tear and tape, because I've seen the liquid glue used, it doesn't really hold. I think with the, let me see here, the Stampin' Seal, great stuff, but that doesn't always hold. So what we have is called tear and strip. So when you put this in here, it's nice because it's thin, but it's very, very strong. And you can tear it. I don't even have to get some scissors with it. So here I push it down really good. Then you just kind of pull that paper up, or you can even use your scissors and get that little paper started. I cut my nails off this week. I don't know why women do that, except it looks a lot better. So here I just peel that off and I put that down. Okay, so that, we may like it, we may not, and if we don't, we'll pull it out. So here we go. For this piece here, I'm gonna cut all these designer series papers. So as I told you, I'll show you how I cut that. With my paper cutter, I'll put my scissors up, okay? I am going to, this has to be, as we said, 6 by 4 1/8. 6 inches it is, that's a given, 4 1/8. So where I wanted to position this is I cut a 1/2 inch off the bottom. So I didn't want too much water. So what I do is when I've got like anything under 1 inch, I cut it on this side of the line. So I just put this edge right here at a 1/2 inch and I cut that off. Now I know this has to be 4 1/8, so I just take this edge down here to 4 inches and 1/8. And that is the piece that I'm gonna cut. Let me see, Gwen wants to know, do you mind me asking how you get this on TV? Whew, that's a technical question, Gwen. I'll have to get back to you. I typically just would plug my laptop into the back of the TV, but actually I don't do that, my husband does. So I'll ask him. Today we're doing cards. You don't want my technical skills. So now that I have this 4 1/8 by 6, I am gonna cut it, and I'm cutting it from left to right. Okay, so on here, we said our cutting it. I'm gonna cut at 1 3/8. Don't get scared, it's just 1/8 inch under 1/2. I'm gonna cut it at 1 3/8. Oops, keep it straight though. There we go. Okay, got that piece. Then I'm gonna cut 1 5/8, just a 1/2 inch, an 1/8 over that 1/2 inch. Then I'm gonna go 1 3/8 again. And that's gonna leave me a 1 5/8. So you wanna keep your pieces, if you're just using designer paper of any, pattern, it really doesn't matter if it's floral. If it's scenic, this is the way you wanna keep it. So what I'm gonna do here now is I will just take the first one, the 1 3/8, and I will put that, it's easier for me to look at it this way. But I am gonna put that right here. Then you take one of the fatter ones, the 1 5/8. Again, make sure it's the one that connects to that. If not, then just pretend you wanted it that way. Put that here. Okay, then you're gonna go back to your thin one, 1 3/8. And on something like this, I do like using the liquid glue because I can move them around on those panels, because you really just want to try to make sure everything is straight going across. So there's my front. And then for this piece here, I'm just going to put that on the inside. Now the trick here, I'm going to use my adhesive, but the trick with this one was, I've seen people put it up on dimensionals, and I don't think you need to. I do want a flap to go under, but I just don't put the adhesive on the left-hand side. I put it on the right side. And for this, if I want, let me go ahead and use my Stampin' Seal. So here's my left side, no adhesive there, just on this right side. Maybe like halfway. So I will open this up. Put it right there. And then when I go to close my card, I just kind of lift it up there and it all goes together like such. So that is as simple as I can get for a bay window. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I'm digging this ribbon here or not. Let me go out on a limb and tie another little piece, and then y'all let me know what you think. Let me see. Oh, Joyce said she ordered the New Horizons bundle. Joyce, you will love it. You will love it. I've been having so much fun with the paper and the stamp set. I don't think you can go wrong. So here I'm just gonna, let's see if I like this any better. Sometimes, you know, less is better. So I have that on the side, so I'll do the inside in a minute, but basically you have this with the ribbon, or you have this without. There's your ribbon and without. Give me a shout out if you like the ribbon or not. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna stamp the inside. So for the inside piece, I've got the 3 1/4 by 4 1/8 basic white. So I'm just gonna take that off. And I'm going to take the soft succulent. And I'm just gonna take my little trees, put them down at the bottom. And I love one of the sayings in here. It says, relax and enjoy your day. We all need to be doing that. Relax and enjoy your day. Just up here at the top. So with that, I am going to open this up. Put my piece inside. Definitely like it better after you added the bow to it. Okay. Gwen has commented it good. So I will leave it just like that. So that's what I have for my inside then. And then, again, tuck that in because that side piece here is not taped down. And that's about as basic as you can get on the bay window card. So that's really what I wanted to show you. And you know the one thing I forgot? Oh my goodness. And this is what made it. Was the birds. Because the birds are what carries over. See? I'll show you what not to do. Stamp your birds first. We're going to do that on the second piece next because we are stepping this up. A lot of times I like things layered. I thought that looked naked. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what I'll have to do, nope, can't do it because I put it on with liquid glue. I'll just have to put some birds on there individually though. Let me see. So do you send instructions with the card to tell the receiver how the card works? No, I don't. But what I have been doing is I put a slip of paper in there that tells them that I've made this card on a video. And I'd send them to my YouTube channel so that they can see how the card was made. So no, I don't, but that's probably a good idea, Steph, because a stamper may know, but a non-stamper may not. But I do always try to direct them to my video where they can see how it was made. All right, now this card, let's keep going here. Again, it's a bay window card, okay? And I did something here I didn't like, which I'll show you guys in a minute, how to undo that. I put it on with dimensionals, and I actually prefer it without. So I'm going to show you how to get the dimensionals off without destroying your card. Aw, Julie said the birds look like a scene from The Notebook. You're absolutely right. So anyways, so what you have here, and you know, Steph, sometimes I think you just don't send, if you have somebody, like you just said, your older mom, she wouldn't know what even YouTube was. Totally get that. Neither does my mom. I wouldn't send this card to her. She is just as happy with a simple card. You know, you could have made the card just like this and it opens regularly and she would be just as happy. So no, you're right. I wouldn't send it to just anybody, but a stamper, they would know. All right, let's get started on this card because it's even a little more complicated. You believe that? Basically what I did is I love the Fresh Freesia with the Blackberry Bliss. So I wanted to go ahead and mount the two together. I love how it just outlines a scene. So what I'm going to do, it steps it up a little bit because I wanted to put this strip on here also. So this actually adds like a 5/16. Sorry, I got to throw that on you guys. But what I'm going to do is the designer series paper pieces I just cut actually are going to be your backed pieces. And I did do that ahead of time. So basically you've got your 1 3/8, your 1 5/8, your 1 3/8, your 1 5/8. And then this little piece right here, that's the 5/16. So this is just 4 1/8. Cut your pieces just like you did here. The only thing different is you have a 4 1/8 by 5/16 for that little side here. So that is already done. Okay, so we'll put these aside. Once again, I told you I'd score in front of you. So I'll take my Simply Scored, do my base, and my base is going to be, this is 11 by 4 1/4. So I've got, put it in your corner there, I've got 3/8, 1 7/8, 3 5/8, 5 1/8, 5 1/2. So there's my scoring. I will, just to keep it easy on that 4 1/2, I like to just fold that first because that's pretty much my card base and lets me know which way to go with my folds. So for this little 3/8 inch piece here, fold back. Then to make your bay window, I'm going to fold that all in the same way, that in the same way, and this small piece again will be my tuck under. That goes that way. Now for this, I'm not going to, since I put that other strip on the other side, I'm just going to take my tear and tape, put it down the middle. And again, sometimes people have trouble getting the paper off, but if you push really good, you should be able to pick it up with your fingernail. And if not, using the scissors and getting the paper up works well too. So I peel that off, throw it on the floor because it's my floor. And that is going to start to create my bay window. So with these pieces, we're going to stamp our designer paper really quick. This piece here, my designer paper, since I came in a little bit, the measurements are a little bit easier. So first, let me stamp my birds. I'm going to use Memento Ink and put this on here like this. And I'm just coming across. And when I did this, I felt like it was like, wow, that's a lot of birds. So maybe I'll space them out a little bit because I think some of it would get on everything. But you know, they just might be migrating. They're migrating for the winter. So that's why they're out of here. Let me put that there. Okay. So now I have birds, the coolest part of the card. I can't believe I forgot that on the first one. So I'm not going to worry since I'm cutting my strips. If I wanted to cut this down, I really could cut it 5 3/4 by 4. It's only going to be 4 inches high now. And I want all the sky I can get. So I'm just going to take my paper, take this edge, come over to my 4 inches. Okay. And I'm going to cut 4 inches. Okay. So there I have the start of my seam. Then I'm going to cut for these pieces. Since these pieces were the 1/8, this makes it so much easier. So going from left to right, I'm going to, actually, you know what? Let's do this. 5 3/4 by 4. We will do it exact. So 5 3/4 by 4. I'm cutting this little quarter off because I really wanted that bird to be in there. 5 3/4 by 4. So now I'm going to cut the, let me see, designer paper to go on the piece. See, I need to go by my written directions and not that one. So now I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch here because that's going to be this left side. And it's hard for me to do it on this side. So I just turn it over. Again, anything less than 1 inch, I cut on the right side of the blade. Anything more, I cut on the other. So I've got a 1/4 inch. Turn it back around and we're going to cut the rest from left to right. So I've got 1 1/4 right there. I've got my 1 1/4 inch, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, and that's going to leave 1 1/2. So I will move these, again keeping them in order. And now I'm going to put them all on these panels. So the 1 1/4 naturally will go on the 1 3/8. And it's only like 1/8 of an inch around, but it just brings that blackberry bliss, not smoke, blackberry bliss out in this designer paper. This makes it gorgeous. So there's one panel, 2 panels. Again, 1 1/2 goes on 1 3/8. So you've seen both ways, one with just designer paper and one backed. This piece here. And as I said, I'm going to show you how to remove a part with dimensions because that really bugged me on the other one. Then this little skinny piece. And just a little bit. Love the liquid Tombow glue. Y'all know it is so strong and does not take much and gives you just a minute to move everything around. Pull that down just a hair. Okay. So these are my pieces that I am going to put on the panel. So for this one here, it's little, but I just kind of felt like it needed it because Fresh Freesia and Blackberry Bliss are gorgeous. So I'm just going to put this on the panel on this side here. Hold it, let me get it up close to my eyes, guys, sorry. Okay, so I have that there. Next will be this one. I'm just going to use my snail. This piece will go here. Again, you're just layering them across. Then I go here. So you know I'm going to be stalking my Ups man when he comes with my pre-order this week. I cannot wait. Joyce, did you already do a pre-order? I don't know if she did or not. But I did. I tried to go sparingly because I know the year is young. But I definitely got all of the in colors. Everybody's raving about the new in colors. They're nice. They're bright. We're just ready for them. Then we have this piece here. Now, this is the difference. This is what I wanted to show you. On this piece here, I put it on with dimensionals thinking that this had to go underneath there, but I felt like it was too floppy. So sometimes when I have something on with dimensionals, I want to just yank it off, but then it tears my cardstock. So I'm going to show you what I do. I just take my scissors and I come in here, if y'all could see that, and I just kind of cut the dimensional. Just kind of cut it in half so that this pulls off. And then what I do, Stampin' Up used to carry these, but they don't have them anymore. So I've heard they even had them at Dollar Tree, to be honest with you. But it's just called an adhesive remover. And it has saved many a card when I put adhesive in the wrong place. But it also works getting these gummy pieces off of my dimensionals. So I will just take my adhesive remover. I don't even mind if you see it some. I just don't want the thickness of the dimensional on there. I just kind of thought it was too much, and I think I can tape it, and I still have a great flap to go underneath. So for here, you still wanted to only put your tape on this side. Leave about half of it. So then when I put this on here, you won't know it, I have not destroyed my card, because again, I have pulled the cardstock off before. And then right here, that's still going to slide under. So just wanted to show you, sometimes you got to back up when you're doing a card, and that would be one of the times. So on here, just going to put my adhesive on the right hand side. Put this right on the back here. Then that'll get tucked under, and let me do my inside piece. There we go. Now this one I'll do a little bit different, because I love all the stamps and the On the Horizon stamp set. For this one, I am going to take the Soft Succulent and just stamp these little guys here down at the bottom. And then once again with the Blackberry Bliss, wishing you so much happiness. We need to wish everybody happiness. So right up here. And then I will slide this on the inside. Like so, and you have another bay window card. But this one here is layered. This has a backing on it, because again, y'all know my colors, I don't have to tell you again. And then this one here, without the birds, I'll substitute the ones with the birds. Again, just comes across. Only difference is put your ribbon on, because I think the ribbon does add a little something, but you gotta have birds. So those are my cards today. I hope you all liked them. Keep in mind, next week you will be seeing new product. Pretty soon, now your catalogs, if you've purchased from me before, you will be receiving your catalogs pretty much anytime. Stampin' Up, I usually have Stampin' Up mail them to you. If you're really local, I make you come to my house sometimes, because then this way I can get to see you. That's you, Rusty. So stop on in, I've got a catalog for you. But if you need a catalog, let me know. Typically, if you've purchased from me in the past, within the past year, I do make sure you get a new catalog. It is a beautiful catalog, and colors are great, and we will be sharing that next week. So if you don't get my newsletter, we also have bingo coming up. So I asked you to save the date for our bingo. That will be coming out in the newsletter. In fact, hold on. Can't make a move without my planner, because I certainly would not want to tell you the wrong date, but we are doing in-person bingo, which is always so much fun. We definitely want to do our in-person bingo. And with a new catalog coming out, all of our product is the new product for our prizes. So save the date of Friday, May 20th. And that information will be coming out this week for the bingo. But if you don't receive my newsletter, please go to Creating with Colleen and sign up to get that. And please check out and subscribe my YouTube channel. Trying to make it in this world of technology, and your help is always greatly appreciated. So all of you have a wonderful day. Do something creative, and thank you so much for your positive feedback. You guys are great. Sandy, I can't wait to see what you do with a bay window card. And thank you so much, Julie, and everybody, every one of you, for joining me today. So go out, get back to work, but I hope you can do something creative. Take care now, and may God bless you all. I'll see you next week at noon. Bye-bye.